Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Anderlecht 1, Manchester United 1. A game where we thought we were going to win it, ends with a draw. It's not the end of the world. We will get Anderlecht put away at Old Trafford, but we really could have put them away tonight. And I think that will be the disappointing thing from this result. I mean, I can't even remember who scored for Anderlecht. That's the problem. We've got Mickey in the score there, 1-1. But that Pogba chance at the end, yet again, it's just not being quite right for Pogba this season or Manchester United in front of goal. That chance, he puts it away, 2-0, the game's dead and buried. Anderlecht go at the other end and it ends up 1-1. And I still think we'll win this tie, but we've all that hard work out the window, because I actually think Manchester United played really well tonight. It's a toss-up who your man of the match is for me. It's Michael Carrick or it's Mkhitaryan. I thought Michael Carrick just ran the game. I'll come back to that in a minute. And I thought Mkhitaryan was very consistent and obviously got the goal and played really, really well. But to let that game slip, it takes the shine off. It takes the shine off what we could have built on and said. For many weeks, I think we've been grinding out results and not playing good football. And tonight, we actually really did play good football. The goal we scored with Mkhitaryan, build-up play to Zlatan, feeds Valencia, low cross, good shot by Rashford, great save by the keeper. Mkhitaryan follows it in. A well-worked goal, well-deserved. And all half. In the first half, especially after the first 10 minutes, we played good football. Second half, Anderlecht came back into it, but Romero never made a save in that whole game. They had one real chance and they scored it, and Romero couldn't have saved that. But we did move the ball really well. The Carrick and Pogba, I like Pogba playing further forward, but Carrick and Pogba were running that midfield, and they were running it really, really well, dictating the play. Brilliant passing along the ground, mostly 30-40 yards, getting us on the front foot. I mean, Carrick is a genius at that. I mean, if you don't understand Carrick, you don't understand football is a cliche. But some of the passing by Carrick, it's along the ground. It takes 3 or 4 players out. And when you're that number 10 or your Zlatan or your Rashford or your Lingard and you receive it, the pass is... he makes a 40-yard pass look like a 5-yard pass because it's into feet, one touch, and then you're on the attack. And Carrick was brilliant tonight. In fact, he was my man of the match. But we didn't create enough. I don't think we created enough, but the football was good. The Pogba chance aside, what other chances did we have? Did Zlatan have a chance tonight? No, he didn't. I mean, as General Zod just said, did Zlatan play today? I mean, I understand the frustration with Zlatan taking that 35-yard free kick. Not that we would have scored it with anybody else, but what's he doing on free kicks? And I think he had a 50-50 game where some of his build-up was playing some good when some of it was bad. But Mourinho's got to be able to make substitutions. He's got to be able to make substitutions. You can't stick with the same 11 all the way through, especially with such a big game on Sunday. And he obviously kept people like Herrera and hopefully Shaw totally out of it to keep them fresh for Sunday. He's got to be able to make substitutions. But we're talking at half-time about why Manchester United are suddenly playing really well and they haven't been playing this well for a long time. And it's a very easy interpretation that I'm sure everybody at home can see as well. That we moved the ball quicker today because we didn't have Fellaini in the midfield. Because Fellaini is slow and his passing range is 5 yards. Well, our midfield today, although Carrick is slow, his movement of the ball makes up for his pace because he can pass 40 yards accurately. Pogba's not slow and he can pass. Mkhitaryan is not slow and he can pass. So we moved the ball quicker and that made us better. When we bring Fellaini on the pitch for Mkhitaryan and Pogba moves to the number 10 and Fellaini comes into the midfield, we're not doing anything in an attacking sense anymore. The ball's not moving quick enough, and by the time we get it to people like Martial and Zlatan, they've got 4 or 5 players around them because we're not moving the ball quick anymore. And that is a problem we've had for a long time, and that obsession, I would call it an obsession, has cost us the points today. The goal for Anderlecht, it's a good cross from the left. It looks like it's Darmian's fault because Darmian challenges for the header, but when you watch it back, it's Fellaini's man. He's like, I know Fellaini's slow, but he didn't even move. He doesn't even shout at Darmian that there's a player coming. And it's his fault. It is his fault. Now, Mourinho won't see it that way. I'm sure he'll probably try and blame Martial, even though he's nowhere near it. But it was Fellaini's fault, the goal, partly. I don't think Darmian can do anything because he can't react. He tries, but he can't get there quick enough. Fellaini's got to be aware of his man and he can't just stand there doing nothing. He's got to go with him. It's a good header, but it's very preventable. But this obsession with Fellaini will cost us points. And I'm not saying he's the worst player in the world, but for the position he brought him on, I would have put Fosu Mensah on, because Fosu Mensah can move the ball quicker. He is quicker. He's more of a replacement for Pogba if you're going to move Pogba up to number 10. If you replace Fellaini with Pogba, you've got no passing range, you've got no pace, you've got no dribbling with the ball. Well, Fosu Mensah can give you 2 of that. He can pass, and he is quick, and he is more tenacious. But he always has to bring Fellaini on, and that costs us the win tonight, unfortunately. I don't want to be too downhearted, because I look at Anderlecht and they're like in front of their crowd like they've won the trophy. It's a massive, massive result for them. But from our point of view, we should have won it. We will win the second leg, but it's disappointing. It's disappointing. And it does feel a little bit like a loss. It's not a rant of a loss, not by any means, but I just think one shot on goal, we give it away. In other results, Ajax beat Schalke 2-0. Celta Vigo beat KRC Genk 3-2. And Lyon are losing at home to Besiktas. So this tournament is still there to be won. But the concern is that you can't go into games like that and draw it. I mean, it was a Manchester United win and we drew it. And Steve Hatt said the substitutions are bad. The options on the bench aren't great. The unused subs are obviously the keeper, De Gea, Blind, Herrera and Luke Shaw. Herrera coming on for Mkhitaryan in the midfield 3 of Carrick, Herrera and Pogba would have been far better. I just think the Fellaini obsession's unfortunate, but he's got to do a hell of a lot better on that cross. His strength, his only strength, Fellaini, and he's been making a career at Manchester United for it throughout the whole 3 years, is his height. Well, when a cross comes into the box and you're marking somebody, you've got to challenge for that header. Otherwise, what is your worth? What is your worth to us? Because you're not going to run past 4 or 5 players. You're not fast. You've got no passing range. When a cross comes into the box, you've got to go and deal with it. And he doesn't. And I'll be very interesting to see if there is any blame apportioned to him by a manager who's more than happy to blame others, but is obsessed by this one player. Like I say, I don't think it's going to be catastrophic, because I do think there's just no way in a million years Anderlecht can come to Old Trafford and win. Of course they can, but the reality is they shouldn't. And we do have the away goal. So, 1-1 to 1-0. We'd still have to put out a decent team in the second leg, because you can't put your reserves out against Anderlecht when it's 1-0, because you're inviting, they'd be having a go. 1-1, it's still in our hands. It's just disappointing not to win it. To throw it away at the end, psychologically, it's not a great thing to do. But Michael Carrick, I want to give him a player ratings. Romero, I would give a 6, just because you've got to give him an average performance because he had nothing to do. Valencia, great to have him back. I'll give him a 7. And Rojo and Bailly, I'll give them a 7 as well. They didn't do anything wrong. Darmian, I'm going to give him a 7 because I think I did blame him for the goal at the time because he's the one making the challenge for the header. But when you watch it back, it's not his fault at all. He very nearly set up Mkhitaryan for a goal. He did quite well, Darmian, to be fair, and I am critical of him as a left back. Michael Carrick, I'd give him a 9. I thought 9's a very high score to give, but what did he do wrong? He ran the midfield. He was the captain. His passing was fantastic. I just thought Carrick was brilliant tonight. Carrick, Pogba, I'm going to give him an 8. I know some people said he played poorly, but I thought he played very well in a defensive midfield position. It's not his fault he's given that position. I think he's better 5-10 yards further forward, but he ran the midfield with Carrick until he was taken out of there, and his replacement, Krusty the Clown, came on and cost us the goal. Mkhitaryan, I'll give Mkhitaryan a 9 as well. I thought he scored a goal. I thought he was really good. Really good. I'll just give it to Carrick, man of the match. Lingard, 6. Lingard is a player. Not awful, but not great. I mean, that's a position where we should be looking as Manchester United to say, do we want a Hull City player playing on our right wing? Because that's all Lingard is. He's a good squad player. He shouldn't be playing games. We need a player who can play 9 out of 10 every week in that position, not somebody whose ceiling is 6 or 7. Zlatan, 6. I thought he was a bit average, to be honest. Some good things, but some bad things. And Rashford, I'd give a 7 because I thought Rashford did quite well, to be honest. Substitutions, Martial, a poor 6. Never really got into the game, but the ball wasn't being moved quick enough. Fosu Mensah not really on long enough. And Fellaini, I'd give him a 4. I know he had a good shot, but apart from that, I just think you're on the pitch to win the ball in the air, and the cross was just, he's got to do better than that. So it does feel like a loss, Ebez. I wouldn't get too negative. I certainly don't agree with any rants or anything like that. I think that's the best we've played in probably 5 or 6 weeks, some of the football was really good. And what annoys me about it is, you know, I thought we were worthy of a 2-0 win in that game. We were definitely worthy of a win. To come out of it with a draw, we would have come out with it so much more confidence because we played quite well. That Pogba chance at the end, I'm just watching it back, he's got to do better. A player of his quality, with time to shoot like that, he's got to do better than he does. I mean, Fellaini gets a header at the end from 6 yards out. Where's the power on your header? You know, that's what you're in the... He's in the team for his height, and his heading ability is actually quite poor. But, yeah, to give it away at the end is really frustrating. Really frustrating, because we played really well, and I think we'd have took that confidence into future games, whereas now we'll probably take away the fact that we blew it. We blew it in a sense, but it's not over. It's not over. I mean, Lord Voldemort saying Pogba cost us the match. Well, I didn't, unless he put a wig on. He wasn't the one who cost us the game. I mean, Romero could have basically had a little kipping goal. He had nothing to do, and then when he has something to do, it's a bullet header he can't do anything about because the players should be marking him. Just can't be arsed. We didn't create many chances. Michael O'Meara makes a good point. We lack any form of penetration up front and a bit toothless. It's hard to say that because I thought we played really well. I thought our build-up play was really good, but I just think, unfortunately, if 100% of the time that Zlatan got it, 50% of the time it broke down. So that sort of halved our creativity straight away. But Metal for me says it wasn't Fellaini's fault. I don't know what game you're watching, mate, but you really need to watch it back. I mean, you can defend whoever you want to defend, but, well, I'm just watching the goal now. So it's Dendoncker who scores it, and Fellaini's just ball watching. Darmian, at full pace, you think it's Darmian's fault. It's not Darmian's man. Darmian's man's behind him. In fact, they're highlighting Fellaini now. Darmian comes across to deal with Fellaini's man. Darmian's man is behind him. It is Fellaini who is just totally and utterly unaware of his man, and he's not doing anything. He's on the pitch to be tall, and he doesn't do anything. It is his fault. And if you don't trust my opinion, trust Roberto Martinez, who's just spoke about it there. But it's Fellaini's man, as VK Dean says. It's not Darmian's man. I mean, I'm not massive about blame. I don't think, what does blame prove? It doesn't get us the points back, but he is on the pitch and has been on the pitch for Manchester United for the last 3 years because of his height, and that's not good enough. But we'll win the second leg. We'll win the second leg. It's just disappointing we didn't win the first leg. But there we go. Thanks everybody for watching. Please do drop a like on the video. We park the Europa League now, thank God, for another week. You just never know with United. You never know what you're going to get, do you? But we will get through. I'm going to be confident we will get through. I can't see how we'd lose to that Anderlecht team at Old Trafford. We shouldn't have lost tonight, so I can't see us losing at Anderlecht at home. And the reality is, even if we do the normal draw at Old Trafford, we're through anyway. But we're live tomorrow night at 8:30 with the Chelsea preview. Massive game on Sunday. I still think we're going to win. I think, call me a deluded twat, but I think we're going to beat Chelsea on Sunday, and I think that can be the kickstart for our season. Let's beat the team that's going to be champions, and let's build a bit of confidence. And whatever he does, don't bloody pick Fellaini, because if you're only going to pick him for his height and he can't even stop a ball in the air, certainly don't pick him against a team like Chelsea who move the ball around quick and are tenacious. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow night. Liam Clark says it was Fellaini's fault and I like him. Oh, it's not about dislike him, is it? It's it was his fault. Mourinho's obsession with a player like that will cost us points. I said it before the game. I didn't expect it to be happening tonight. But Gungshi, United are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do drop a like on the video. It'd be nice to get up to over 200 likes while we're live. In fact, I'm going to hang on until we do. But Dante Gerrard, keep Fellaini away from the team and we win. We aren't through with a draw, says Robert Taylor. Well, if you want to be pedantic about it, if it's a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford, we're out. If it's a 1-1 draw, it's extra time. And if it's 0-0, we're through. So, yeah, are we going to concede 2 goals? You never say never, but A lot of Martial hate on there. I mean, what do you want Martial to do when he hardly gets the ball? And when he does get the ball, he's got 3 players on him. If he starts that game with all the pace and quick movement, then he'd have a better game. When he comes on the pitch, we bring Fellaini on more or less straight away, and there's no quick ball anymore. So I just think Martial shouldn't be starting at the moment. I've got to accept that. But to start picking on him as a reason we draw a game that we're going to win 1-0. If you want to pick on anybody, and I don't really think that's the way to approach it, but if you want to pick on anybody, we win that game 1-0 if somebody does his job, and we all know who it is. Jose is the right man for the job. You can't pick on Jose. He's not, that was one of our best performances of the season so far. I just thought, Zlatan was a bit wasteful, and somebody makes a mistake to cost us a good win. We go again. Thanks everybody for watching. Speak to you all soon. It's Easter weekend. Enjoy it and look forward to Chelsea on Sunday because it's going to be a big, big game. And don't worry, we'll turn this around next Thursday. This is football. Unfortunately, this is the season we're having with United where it just seems to be, it's not like we're losing games, but it's frustrating. I know it's frustrating, but we can certainly build on that performance. And, we've got Herrera back. Luke Shaw hopefully play at left back. We've got to be confident, but we've got to do better. We won't get away with it against better teams. Anderlecht did finish that game like they'd won the bloody World Cup, which shows what a draw against Manchester United is to them. We will have to be better against better teams, and whatever you think about Celta Vigo, Schalke, Ajax, Besiktas, they are better teams than Anderlecht, and we will have to be better than we are at the moment. Thanks everybody for watching. Speak to you all very soon. Get commenting below. Give us your thoughts who your man of the match was. Give us your player ratings as well. Who did you think was the best? Who did you think was the worst? What changes would you make? Give us your thoughts below. And I'll see you tomorrow. 8:30, Good Friday. 8:30 at night. Manchester United versus Chelsea live preview. I'm up for this one. I'm up for this. We're going to beat those lucky boys in blue from London. And I will tell you why tomorrow night. But thanks for watching.